So, welcome to this bite-sized video following yesterday's budget announcements, where we will be covering the COVID extensions that were announced. As the accounts partner, I was pleased to see for my business clients still likely to be recovering from a drop in demand that the furlough scheme has been extended until the end of September. This continues to be a valuable lifeline and should allow businesses to slowly bounce back once a sense of normality is resumed. However, as the payroll partner, I'm probably slightly disheartened at the thought of another 6 months of furlough, and the cynic, and some might say the realist in me, remains sceptical that the level of fraud from the misuse of the scheme is being seriously underplayed, particularly now we have flexi furlough in place.
Lisa, as you've mentioned the fraud word, I've been told by some clients and the girls in the payroll team that we are now starting to see HMRC inquiries checking into the validity of furlough claims that have been made.
Yep, that's correct. And I imagine we'll see many more inquiries in the coming months. I've seen one of the letters that's been issued, and it reiterates to me the importance of accurate record keeping. Employers need to ensure that they've adopted all the correct processes required, as HMRC are wanting to see paperwork that was issued to employees and time recording records to confirm flexi calculations. I believe that the identification of employers undertaking the scheme now, which is publicly available online, and information being shown on individuals' personal digital tax accounts will also help HMRC target those that may be preparing fraudulent claims.
Lisa, as you're the guru of everything furlough, I wondered if there's been any other changes that have been made to the scheme in respect of the extension?
There's been a couple of changes. The first one is for the claim periods ending after the 1st of May 21. Any employee that's been reported on an RTI submission between the 20th of March 20 and the 2nd of March 21 can now be furloughed or flexi furloughed, regardless of if they've been previously furloughed before. Claims relating to April, May and June, there's no change. Employers still have to pick up the cost for employers' national insurance and employers' pension costs. From July, employers will have to make a contribution of 10% of the unworked hours, rising to 20% for August and September. I think the theory behind this combines with the planned reopening of everything by mid-June, and all other processes will still need to comply and remain in place. And I can't emphasise enough that the importance of issuing the appropriate furlough documents, as I think these will be crucial for any inquiry. Craig, I know you're heavily involved in the SICE and self-employed calculations. Whilst I was having fun with furlough, I wonder what lies in store for the self-employed in terms of the grant changes.
Yes, as predicted, the Chancellor has extended the SICE grant with 2 new tranches that cover the period up to September 2021, the same as furlough. 4th grant covers the period February to April and can be claimed from late April to the end of May, and this will be based on 80% of 3 months average trading profits. It will be made in a single instalment and capped at £7,500, providing taxable income is less than £50,000. HMRC will be using the 2019-20 tax return, which must have been submitted by the 2nd of March to work out if individuals are eligible and the amount that can be claimed. The 5th and hopefully final grant, covering May to September, will be determined by how much a business's turnover is reduced in the year to 5th of April 2021 from the previous year. For those with a reduction of 30% or more, they will receive 80% of 3 months average trading profits, capped at £7,500. For those with a reduction less than this, it will be 30% capped at £2,850. I suspect the taxable income of less than £50,000 will remain. However, further details of the 5th grant will be released at a later date.
I wonder if the later release will involve tax returns having to be filed for 2021 to allow a claim to be made. If this is the case, at least next January may be quieter than normal for the tax department. Linking the final grant to a turnover test makes perfect sense and directs the support towards those that need it. I'm definitely in favour of this. One thing that does concern me is that individuals will not be considering the tax impact of receiving the grant. As it is a taxable grant, money should be put aside to ensure the tax and national insurance due is paid the same as if the profit had been made by the business in the first place. If not, I fear there will be more taxpayers arranging time to pay arrangements on 31st of January 2022, especially if payments on account have been incorrectly reduced by not allowing for the grant income.
I agree, John. Also, anyone that has started a new self-employment during 1920 will now be allowable for the grant, which according to the government statistics means another 600,000 individuals may now qualify. Sadly, the reality to this is most new businesses do not make much money in the first year of trading or investment in capital expenditure, which can eliminate the taxable income and therefore may be no real compensation to them at all.
That's true, and it seems all representations made for company directors, freelancers and contractors had been overlooked throughout the whole COVID crisis, continues to fall on deaf ears. Seems the DISS has been truly dismissed by Rishi in his budget considerations.
Yeah, John, you spoke earlier of time to pay arrangements and some extensions already in place that we might need to remind people of that they might have forgotten. So individuals are already able to spread the cost of their self-assessment bill as long as it's less than 30,000 and it's less than 60 days after the payment due date. They can do this over 11 instalments and pay it by direct debit. They'll need to apply through their digital tax account, and also you can phone the HMRC's payment line. If the amount does exceed this, they will probably need to make a special arrangement for payments. Also, businesses that deferred their VAT last year, which have payments that are now due, are also able to pay this in instalments of up to 11 payments. And again, this can be applied for online and will probably be very valuable for businesses. It helps them to protect the valuable cash flow that I think will be needed for the next 12 months as we come out of this.
As well as time to pay arrangements, I know some of my clients, especially those in the hospitality sector, will be pleased to see that the business rates holiday has been extended until the end of June, and a further 6 months period where rates will be discounted to a third will be very welcome as the struggle to build up profits again to protect the future of their businesses.
And another measure announced by Rishi was the Business Restart Scheme to provide small business grants of up to £18,000. Non-essential retail businesses will receive grants of up to £6,000 per premises, as they will be allowed to open first. Hospitality and leisure, including gyms, will get grants up to £18,000 as they have had to stay closed for longer. I know of many businesses in this sector will be pleased with the additional grants available as an alternative to loans which have to be repaid.
Yeah, overall, I have to say that I'm not necessarily surprised with the support that Rishi showed in the budget that's needed to continue for businesses and individuals in the short term, especially as he announced a date of mid-June for a return to normality. Cynic in me will say, well, until the next time, that is. The levels of support has been unprecedented, and despite my cynical reviews relating to the existence of fraud within each sector of support, it has allowed many businesses to survive that I fear otherwise would have been victims if not. UK 200, which we are members of, have been working on a project called BOSS, and I suggest that all our business owners maybe look at this for valuable advice and support. If you want to hear our views on the future, please tune in to Bringing the Economy Out of Lockdown, or What Does Our Future Look Like? Thank you.